The greatest military genius of his time lost his legs before he ever commanded a single battle. Not because he lost a war, not because he betrayed his kingdom, but because the man beside him could not accept being second. During the Warring States period, two students once studied military strategy together under the same master. According to later legends, that master was the mysterious Ghost Valley sage. The two students were Pang Juan and Sun Bin. One story claims that after observing them for years, Ghost Valley sage privately gave his opinion about the two men. Pang Juan, he reportedly said, could become an excellent general. But Sun Bin was something else entirely. This man could command entire wars. At the time, such words may have sounded like praise. In reality, they planted the seed of one of the most famous betrayals in Chinese history. Pang Juan left first. He traveled to the state of Wei, one of the strongest kingdoms of the era. There, his talent quickly earned him fame. He won victories, gained the trust of the Wei king, and rose to become a powerful general. He was not an incompetent man jealous of someone better. That is what makes the story tragic. Pang Juan truly was talented. He had status, military authority, and the respect of the Wei court. For a time, he likely believed his future was secure. Then he remembered Sun Bin, the quiet student who had once studied beside him. So Pang Juan sent word and invited Sun Bin to Wei. At first, this probably was not a trap. The historical records suggest Pang Juan respected Sun Bin's ability. Perhaps he genuinely wanted his former fellow student to help Wei grow stronger. And when Sun Bin arrived, everything seemed peaceful. At first, Sun Bin did not look impressive. He was calm, soft-spoken, and carried himself more like a scholar than a warrior. But once discussions turned toward warfare, the atmosphere changed. Sun Bin thought differently from everyone else. When generals talked about numbers, he talked about timing. When ministers discussed formations, he discussed deception. When others prepared for battles, Sun Bin seemed to already understand how those battles would end. People at court began noticing him. The Wei king listened carefully whenever Sun Bin spoke. Ministers repeated his ideas after meetings. Officers started discussing the brilliant strategist from Qi. Some stories even claim that after military discussions ended, officials would continue arguing about Sun Bin's theories deep into the night. And slowly, Pang Juan became quieter. Pang Juan began noticing small things. When Sun Bin entered the hall, conversations stopped. When military reports became difficult, ministers looked toward Sun Bin instead of him. Even the king of Wei started asking the younger strategist questions before turning to his own general. Pang Juan never protested openly, but inside the fear was growing. He had spent years climbing to the top of Wei's military hierarchy. Yet now, without commanding a single battle, Sun Bin was already changing the atmosphere of the court. Pang Juan understood something terrifying. If this continued, one day he would no longer be the most important military mind in Wei. The most important line in the historical record says this: Pang Juan knew he was not as capable as Sun Bin, not suspected, not worried, knew. That realization changed everything, because Pang Juan understood the danger immediately. As long as Sun Bin remained in Wei, there would come a day when the king valued Sun Bin more than him. And during the Warring States period, losing a ruler's favor could destroy a man overnight. The jealousy did not explode suddenly. It grew slowly, coldly. Pang Juan watched as Sun Bin's reputation spread through the Wei court. He listened while others praised him. At night, he reportedly studied military texts alone, fully aware that another man stood closer to true greatness than he did. Eventually, fear defeated friendship. Sun Bin was originally from the state of Qi. That fact became Pang Juan's weapon. He accused Sun Bin of being a Qi spy. In the paranoid political climate of the Warring States era, such an accusation was devastating. Every kingdom feared infiltration. Every ruler feared betrayal from within. Once the accusation was made, Sun Bin had almost no way to defend himself. The Wei court turned against him quickly. Sun Bin was arrested. Then came the punishment, not death, something far crueler. He received both tattoo punishment and bin punishment. His face was carved and marked with ink, permanently branding him as a criminal. In that era, such marks destroyed not only a person's appearance, but also his dignity and social identity. Then came the bin punishment itself. His knees were mutilated so severely that he could no longer walk normally again. Some later accounts describe the sound of screaming echoing through the prison halls while guards held him down. Blood covered the floor. The man who understood war better than almost anyone alive could now barely stand. And from that point on, people stopped using his original name. They called him Sun Bin, Sun, the man who had suffered the bin punishment. But Pang Juan still did not kill him. Perhaps some trace of old friendship remained. Or perhaps Pang Juan believed Sun Bin had already been destroyed completely. After all, what threat could a crippled criminal still pose? Some accounts even suggest Pang Juan still hoped to use Sun Bin's military knowledge in the future. But Sun Bin understood his situation perfectly. If Pang Juan ever believed he remained dangerous, he would die. So Sun Bin chose survival. He pretended to go insane. The once brilliant strategist became filthy and unstable. He laughed strangely. He muttered nonsense. Sometimes he crawled rather than walked. Servants and guards gradually stopped seeing him as a threat. That was exactly what Sun Bin wanted. Behind the madness, he remained patient, waiting, watching, looking for a single chance to escape Wei alive. Then an opportunity finally appeared. A diplomatic envoy from Qi arrived in Wei. Secretly, the envoy met Sun Bin. What he saw was horrifying. A mutilated man with ruined legs, a scarred face, and the appearance of a broken prisoner. But beneath the madness, Sun Bin's mind remained perfectly clear. The envoy immediately understood. This man had to leave Wei alive. So the Qi delegation secretly hid Sun Bin inside a carriage. Quietly, under the cover of diplomacy, the carriage departed the Wei capital and moved toward the Qi border. No armies marched, no swords were drawn. One of the most important escapes in Chinese history happened in complete silence. And somewhere behind them, Pang Juan still believed he had won. He believed Sun Bin's life was over. He believed the crippled strategist would disappear into history as a defeated man. He was wrong, because the man leaving Wei that day would eventually return as the architect of Pang Juan's destruction. And beneath the trees of Maling, their story would finally end. If you want to hear more strange but true stories from Chinese history, subscribe to Imperial Absurdity.